When it comes to watching a bunch of anime, there are particular aspects when it comes to shows that I really latch onto because they're things that I'm attracted to. Some really good examples of these things are romances with complex stories, anything having to do with the human condition, and so on and so forth. But there's one thing that I will always love in an anime and something that I will always latch onto, and I don't really talk about it this much, but anything having to do with music will automatically draw me to an anime. Animes like Your Lie in April, Taco P Destiny, and Carol Tuesday are just some of the animes that I genuinely love that are surrounded around music. Just the way they implement the music in the story, whether it be the story of the struggling artist, or them using it to use music to fight, or any which way, adding music to anime is one of the best ways that I can get into an anime. So when I say this next segment, it's going to be like I just lied to you, but up until recently, I have never in my entirety of watching anime ever watched a girl band anime. I know, it's weirdly shocking and kind of surprising as someone who loves music so much to the point where I still make music to this day and it's been incorporated within my life for as long as I could remember. Not gravitating towards the girl band genre of anime almost sounds impossible. The girl band genre that hasn't made me completely latch onto it. I can't completely understand it myself, and I have been interested and have put them on my watch list. These are anime that I do intend to watch, but I've never been driven to actually go out of my way to watch it. But of course, that all changed recently in the spring of summer 2025 when there was a particular anime's trailer that caught my attention quite a lot, and I ended up watching it and loving it so much. That anime, as you can see from behind me, is Rock is a Lady's Modesty. Now, there are a few things in particular that actually drew me to Rock is a Lady's Modesty. First thing that I would think that we should talk about immediately is obviously the art direction. In terms of animation, they really put such an emphasis on everything they do music-wise. When it comes to certain things like animation, they actually implement a lot of things into it when it comes to playing around the music. The CGI is a really good touch when they're circling around them and they watch them perform. It makes everything feel really smooth and really nice, especially when they go all out and playing their music. Oh, it's actually so beautiful to watch. They put so much attention to detail when it comes to the actual drumming, the actual strumming, the actual piano key playing. They paid attention to every little bit of aspect, and as someone who's into music, I really appreciate something like that. And then when it comes to stuff like the art style, oh, everything just pops. They use so much bright colors to make everything stand out. They use a great amount of color palettes. I can go on and on about the art direction, from the character design to the way they make all the clothing, to the way that they make everything pop, to even the color coordination of the girl's hair. It's all so goddamn beautiful, and I love every single moment of watching this. The second aspect that I actually love is the musical choice, or rather the musical genre choice. I'm sure there are plenty of girl band anime that actually do the hard rock genre, so I'm not surprised by that. What I am interested in is the fact that this anime goes in the direction of being an instrumental band. And when I found that out when watching the anime, obviously I was a bit skeptical about how they were going to go around that, because obviously when you have vocals and music, it's a lot easier for people to get into. Even in the sense of different languages, there's still at least a basis for people to at least understand the feel of things. A vocalist can really give a lot of impact when it comes to any form of music. That's also not to say, however, that the instrumental idea doesn't already exist already. There are a lot of people, including myself, that love listening to a lot of instrumental music. I mean, the lo-fi genre is basically that, right? It's just a genre that's full of instrumentals that people love listening to. And again, there are some people that perform in that, but I just found it interesting that they did it for a rock band because I don't really see much of that. But I was so wrong, almost immediately wrong, because first of all, the music sounds fantastic. They put so much emphasis on the instruments and what's playing. They do such a good job in just incorporating all the sounds together and making it blend well and really having an impact throughout the entire show. I love every single song that they play, even the vocal songs that are played by other various bands that they go against. I love it so much as well. This anime does a really good job with its music. But the one thing that convinced me that this anime knew what it was doing when it decided to go down the instrumental route was how it was implementing that throughout the story. Because yes, Even the playing, the actual physical playing of the music is incorporated so strongly throughout the narrative. Anytime you see any of the girls play, whether it's Otaha, Lilisan, Tina, or Shiraya, all of their music playing, all of the instruments that they're working with is telling a story. Whether it's Otaha and Lilisan battling it out to see who can overtake each other, whether it's Shiraya trying to get back Otaha through her playing, whether it's Tina trying to find herself and who she is through playing the keyboard, it tells many different emotions and many different stories. And I really haven't seen an anime do something like that, or rather it's very few and far between. Now obviously when it comes to a music anime, especially one surrounding a band, the performances are obviously going to be a big part of the anime. But when it comes to Rock is a Lady's Modesty, they're not just a part of the anime, they're a core aspect. They are a mechanism for the narrative to keep going. And again, it's still like that, but it feels more powerful when you see the drummer trying to guide their people to actually becoming a cohesive unit, or you see them battling for the love of somebody that they're trying to go against. It's a beautiful way to implement instrumental music because you're not just focused on the vocals, you're focused on how people are playing even more, on top of the good animation, on top of the art style, and the instrumental being a device for the narrative to keep going. Everything is focused solely around the playing of the players, and that is just a lovely visual to see. You get so sucked up and warped into this world that you kind of can't pull your eyes away from it. You genuinely get locked into the performance in such a captivating way that everything just feels so much special. It makes you want to root for the people more. It makes you get more invested, more emotional. And every episode, I don't think there was a single one I didn't get super hyped for because I knew I was in for something cool. Now, obviously, there are narrative points outside of the music telling that is also surrounded around all of their lives, which is also a really good story. Obviously, the main narrative is all surrounded around Lilisa, the long blonde-haired girl who has gone to this all-girls school private academy to try to reform herself better for her family and for her mother. But obviously, there is a burning passion in her that still wants to do this rock girl life that she lived before. And it's kind of this interesting battle between her trying to conform for the better, but it's obviously something that she doesn't want. She doesn't want to do this. She doesn't want to be this preppy girl. She wants to be this girl to want to have fun and rock and be herself because that's what she truly is. And it's kind of this battle between what you want versus what you need, which I think is a very compelling story in itself. The rest of the girls that are in the band are all in similar situations. Obviously, they all go to prep schools, and they all use rock in order to express themselves in different ways, but they all have different avenues. Tina is at a place where Lilisan wants to be. She has this high status within the school where she's considered this preppy girl. She has the nickname of the prince because she impresses everybody, but it's obviously not who she wants to be. She does this modeling stuff to hide herself, and there's a lot about herself that she doesn't really tell people about, obviously, because she doesn't want to be viewed in a different way, but she's trying to use music to find out what she really wants and what she really wants to do and who she really wants to be. Shiraya's story is a bit different, yet she also goes to a prep school, not like any of the other ones, but her prison is basically her trying to conform to everybody else's band preferences. She's someone who hops from band to band just to play a normal place, and she does the bass really good. It's just she plays the bass in a way that's more conformative. She doesn't play to have fun, she plays to be perfect. And that's not necessarily what the rest of the bandmates want, including Otaha, who she's trying to impress the most. And then there's Otaha, who kind of brings all the girls together, and the best way that I could describe her is that she is the next Yumiko Jabami. Her plight is also a bit different, though I would assume it still stems from being in the prep school and trying to be this perfect image of what a girl should be, where Otaha has always been someone that's played by herself for the most part. She's never really played for a crowd or played with other people, but in being a part of this band, not only is she relieving everybody else from their own stressors, but she's slowly realizing that there are people that will appreciate her music and there are people that she can enjoy it with. She doesn't have to be alone anymore in this prison where it's only her, her phone, and her drums. She can be a part of a band and be performing for people that actually appreciates and gives back the same amount of energy. All of this topped off with a level of intensity I don't think I see from much music anime. I am somebody who loves the passion that's shown within music, and Rock is a Lady's Modesty gives me that and even more. I mean, the girls just don't get intense. They outright cuss out each other and anybody after every performance. And the moment I saw the entire band flick up the bird at the band that they were going against at the very end of the season warmed my heart so much because it was the first time we really saw them be a cohesive unit outside of their performances, and it really solidified them as a band. I loved that moment because everything building up to it made it special. It is the level of passion they put into their music, the level of intensity that they put into their words and their actions, and the level of love that they put into their goals that really made me stay for this anime and is probably gonna make me put it in somewhere in my top 10 for 2025. And it's funny to think that I actually almost passed this up for other anime that were coming out during this season, but I finally said, you know what, let me finally watch a girl band anime for the first time in my watch history, and I am so glad that I picked this one. Now, is my expectation for other girl band anime a little bit higher after this? Yeah, probably. Not probably the best one I should have started with, but I'm glad that there was a girl band anime that makes me want to dive into it more, because my love for music and my love for this type of genre can only grow, I feel, if I watch more. I will admit, starting out into the genre probably isn't the best, but if you're versed in the girl band genre and you love that thing and you love music and you love passion, you love people driving their passions and reaching their goals, Rock is the Lady's Modesty is the one for you. It's great, it's vibrant with its color, it's awesome with its music, and it's just a wonderful and passionate anime to get into. I am genuinely happy I picked this up, and I hope that when you watch this and you go, you'll feel the same way just as I did.
I'm like so gay.